Welcome to CLU News. My name is Mateo Bowman.
And I'm Kelsey Gores.
Today, we will be talking to a Holocaust survivor, looking at the careers and communication panels at CLU, and in sports, we'll cover Kingston baseball and Regals basketball.
We will also chat with CLU art faculty Mike Adams and get CLU students' opinions about the new season of The Walking Dead.
For our first story, we'll explore one of the most tragic events in history, the Holocaust. CLU News and the broadcast news production class were granted with the opportunity to speak to two survivors, Clara Knopfler and Michael Mark. They were interviewed in the studio and at Clara's home. Let's go to Heather and Dominic, who visited them at University Village in Thousand Oaks.
I'm Heather Ford, and I'm here today with Clara Knopfler. She is going to give us a little insight into her and her family's history. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your parents and about your family before everything happened.
I had a small family. My mom, my father, my brother, but the family had my father had 11 siblings. My mother had 4 brothers. They had children, grandchildren. I have 2 grandmothers. The grandparents died. But even so, we were 39 members of the family. After the Holocaust, only my mom and I survived. My mom lived in my house till 101, and I owe her my second birth, because after Holocaust, I think she was my savior. She gave me life again. I don't think that we would survive without each other.
Well,
we had each other when we were hungry, when we were sick. Only each other could help. And she had only one wish. Please write what happened to us so it should never happen again. And I wrote my book about the family.
So, how old were you, and what was it like after you were set free from everything?
I spent my birthday, 18 years old, January 19th, in the camp. And after that, 2 days of marching, we found somewhere a place where we slept over. Russians came, not the Americans, unfortunately. The Russians had nothing, and they gave us nothing, but they liberated us. And then for 3 months, we walked home.
Wow.
From January 21st till April, at the end of April. We didn't have a calendar. And we came home. And you know who helped us to start a new life? My Christian friends.
Really?
Who could not talk to me, who didn't know where I was. But when I came home, they came to visit to almost an empty house, because the house was looted, taking everything away except my piano. It has heavy and some furniture they left there. And they came to visit. Where were you, Clara? They didn't want to talk too much about it. The fact was that I came home.
So tell me about the lessons learned from the Holocaust.
The most important is to be informed, to be educated, what happened in the past. You see, we went like sheep to the slaughterhouse. We did not know anything. We really didn't know from 1 hour to the other. The new orders through the German laws against Jews were used really in Transylvania. The deportation, the gas, this was all oriented from Germany. So I think if we educate the new generation, and it's you who have the burden to never forget and to know that fight against hatred, prejudice, injustice, that's the most important lesson. That you be informed, to be vigilant, and be an upstander, not a bystander.
Of course.
To know what's going on and fight against what's bad and follow the good. That's the best lesson I can give you.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today.
Thank you for being, and to not forget, and the burden is right here.
Of
You
course.
and your children later.
Such an inspiring story.
It truly is. It's so important for them to be able to tell their story to the next generation to come, so it can never be forgotten.
Last week, a panel of CLU Communication alumni spoke on their careers and gave advice to students on how to find success in the working world. They shared their stories along with tips and tricks to how they got to where they are. Carissa is at the Lundring Event Center with the story.
I'm Carissa Sherrill here at the Lundring Event Center, where today we're going to be viewing a communication panel with 4 professionals talking about their careers in communications.
The communications panel event started off with guest speaker Mark Glesney, who works as a web marketing director for Bed Stew. Mark advises students on how to obtain their dream job after successfully graduating from CLU.
Focus on what you want to do. There's 2 types of business people in the world, in my opinion. Those that learn to love what they're doing because it's lucrative, or those that love what they're doing because it's lucrative, and those that find a way to make what they love doing lucrative. Look for mentorship possibilities in the business world. Look for someone that does what you want to do and bring up a relationship with them, even if they're not at your company.
The second speaker of the day was Kristen Davis, who is currently the managing editor for the Salvation Army. Davis spoke about her job as a global journalist.
I ask for your sources to recommend more sources. Sponsorship in journalism is huge. If you get someone to introduce you to someone else, that's a really great way to find sources, especially if your story is somewhat sensitive.
Third to speak was Zachary McVicker, a senior account executive for Edelman Digital. McVicker has worked with the company for 2 years, currently as the company's lead on their digital work.
This is where we can engage with people like, for example, Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta tweeted about Spartacus the other day. And so we jumped on that because we're like, Candy, of course, we're going to tweet at you. So,
Last to speak was film director and producer Ashley Johnson. Johnson, who has worked on films such as Training Day and Minority Report, engaged the audience with his real-world stories from the film industry.
The film business. It's not the film friendship. It's not the film Facebook. It's not the film let's go out and eat food at craft service. It's the film business. Go to Area 3 in order to work, which means places like New Mexico, Colorado, anybody can film. Films are made in sexy places, unless it's something that dictates we need to go back and second. God stepped up and answered the question Dawn should have answered. My man.
They really have some interesting careers. It's always great to hear experiences from someone who has a successful career and that they are happy with.
Yes, and they seem so passionate about what they do.
In other news, for those of you who were forced to evacuate Trinity Hall last week, we have the details of what happened. David is at Trinity to get the scoop. David?
Hi, I'm David Stenson. I'm standing in front of Trinity Hall, where on Monday night, fire alarms evacuated hundreds of students from their dorm rooms. The culprit? A burning bag of popcorn. I talked to Anna McCree and other students from Trinity Hall to see what happened that night. I'm here with Caitlin Dimmitt, and Caitlin, I understand that your room was the source of where the popcorn began to burn. Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And how long was it before you realized that the popcorn was burning?
Within seconds, I heard some screams and then saw smoke infiltrating through my room.
Did you realize it was burning before Anna McCree did?
Yes, I did.
Did you tell her about it or do anything to try to stop it?
I left that in the hands of Emma Hop.
I'm here with Emma Hop, and Emma, what were you doing at the time when the fire alarms went off?
I was sitting on the couch eating chips.
Did you notice that the popcorn bag was smoking before you...
Yes, I was actually the one to find it. I saw out of the corner of my eye a gust of smoke, and I pulled the fire alarm. So, I'm just kidding. I didn't, but I saw it. I found it.
I'm here with Chantel Phillips. And Chantel, what were you doing at the time when the fire alarms went off?
Well, I believe it was a Monday, and I was in the middle of watching The Bachelor, and the fire started.
Were you upset at the time?
Yeah, because it was a really good part, and all of a sudden smoke was in the hallways, and then the alarm started going off, and The Bachelor was about to give a rose out.
I'm here with Josh Dwyer. And Josh, what were you doing at the time when the fire alarms went off?
I was actually watching TV with my roommate, and then we heard them go off, and we thought it was a smoke alarm. And then only after about a minute, we realized it was a fire alarm.
Did you think it was a drill, or did you think it was real, or?
Oh, I knew they had the drill like 2 weeks ago, so I figured it had to be real, but I came outside and I saw the smoke. I was like, oh, shoot.
I'm here with Anna McCree. Anna, can you tell us what happened that night?
Well, I bought a bag of popcorn from the Trinity Lounge, went back to the room to pop it, and before I knew it, the whole room was filled with smoke.
So the room started to fill with smoke before you had the chance to stop the microwave.
Exactly. I was sitting on the couch and my friend said, "I think your bag of popcorn is on fire." And I ran over and the timer hadn't even gone off yet, and I had to grab the bag out with a towel and take it outside because there was just so much smoke.
So the bag was literally on fire.
Literally, I never saw flames, but inside it was just black and there was just tons of smoke.
So how long after that before the alarms went off inside the building?
I would say by the time I put the bag outside and came back in, the alarms were going off. So a good 2-3 minutes after that.
Have you made microwave popcorn before?
Yes, I have, I promise.
Okay. Well, that's Anna McCree and her burning bag of popcorn. Back to you in the studio.
Who knew a bag of popcorn could cause so much mayhem?
CLU Kingsman baseball team tried their young pitcher rotation in their luck against the University of British Columbia this past weekend. Andrew was there to cover the event. Andrew?
On Sunday, the Kingsman baseball team played a rare exhibition game against University of British Columbia at Ulman Stadium. It's the second and last time this season they get to test their skills against a foreign team. Since it was non-league play, the Kingsmen were able to give their starters some much-needed rest and let their backups and young players get some valuable in-game experience. Sophomore pitcher Matt Burton and 6 other pitchers took the mound for the Kingsmen. The pitching staff as a whole gave up 10 hits, 7 runs, and also walked 10 batters.
I'm here with sophomore starting pitcher Matt Burton. You guys have a pretty young pitching staff this year. Tell me what you guys think your pitching choice for the year.
I mean, we have a lot of young guys, but they're really talented. To get a little experience underneath them, they'll be, really good for the next couple of years. But yeah, I mean, we have a lot of really talented guys, so we should be fine this season.
Despite losing 7-5, the Kingsmen were able to see how deep their team is for this season and for future seasons.
We have huge potential. We're experienced in the field, we're young in the bullpen, but that doesn't matter, you know. We've showed a lot of we've competed, and we just got to keep doing that in order for us to do well, which I think we will do.
The Kingsmen head into conference play next Friday against Pomona Pitzer for the SCIAC opener. They look forward to their depth and youth to help carry them through the season. For CLU News, this is Andrew Demansky. Back to you in the studio.
Our Regals basketball team made it to the first round of the Division III championships at Lewis and Clark University to take on the Whitman College. Dominic is at the Gilbert Sports Arena to get the scoop on their win and what's next for the team.
Thanks, guys. Back-to-back Sky champion Regals basketball team looks forward to their second straight playoff appearance as they travel to Oregon to take on Whitman College in what looks like to be a well-matched-up game. Senior Starla Wright, Jasmine Porter, and Rachel Hagee look to use their experience to get past the missionaries. I talked to Erica Whitley about what they need to do in order to advance in the playoffs.
Erica, how does it feel to make the playoffs for your second straight year?
Oh, it feels awesome. You know, we work hard and I feel like we definitely deserve to be going to the NCAA playoffs this year. It feels great having the last 2 years you're in college and you're a college athlete, being able to go this far twice.
So in your absence, who do you think is going to have to step up to really propel this team to the playoffs?
I think Jasmine and Rachel, because Jasmine is just a great guard and she can do it all. You know, we just need her to, do what she does and do it to the best of her ability, because she's just a really good player, and when she's on, she's on. And Rachel, she's just a really good post player, and she has the moves, and if she just used those moves and did it to the best of her ability, we could go really far, because nobody can guard Rachel and nobody can guard Jasmine.
And it's a great group of seniors, as I've watched, and as many CLU students have watched. How do you feel about these seniors this year?
I'm so proud of my seniors. We've been through this for 4 years now, and the first 2 years were total just chaos. It was really hard. Freshman year was awesome. We had a good run, but I feel like now today us seniors here, we worked our butts off in order to get this far. So it just feels really great being able to be here and support the team, even though I'm not out there playing right now. I'm so proud of how they're doing in every circumstance right now. So, it's really hard to be on the bench, but I am so proud of my team. So proud.
The Regals leave for Oregon on Wednesday, February 27th, and they play Whitman Friday, March 1st at 5 p.m. For everybody at CLU News, this is Dominic Solly. Back to you guys in the studio.
Whoa, way to go, Regals. Cal Luther's professor, Mike Adams, former student and 20-year director of the Creative Media Center, talks about his past art career. Adams' works are in private collections throughout the United States. Let's go to Natalie with the story.
Hi, I'm Natalie Morin, and I'm here with Mike Adams, art professor at CLU, and we're going to find out a little bit of what he does here. Hi, Mike.
Hi.
So can you please tell us how you got started here at CLU?
How I got started here at CLU. My father was a professor here at CLU. He was the first theater arts professor on campus in the early 60s, about mid-60s. And I was a high school student at the time, and I was on campus and went to school here, graduated, came back and worked at the university from about 1979 until just a few years ago, and I was the director of communications, headed up the design, the marketing design for the university for about 30 years, and retired from that position about 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, to do full-time art. I always wanted to be an artist and put it off for about 30 years.
So can you tell us what types of art do you focus on that you like to paint?
Okay. Well, you can see what the stuff behind me. This is the figurative work that I've been doing recently. I'm generally known for still life painting, and I don't have any samples of that here. I have a gallery in Charleston, South Carolina, who represents me, and they do almost exclusively the still life work that I do.
That's great. So as far as the types of classes you teach here at CLU, what type of inspiration do you try to teach them for their own art projects?
Right now I'm teaching a beginning drawing class, which is really great. We're going back to more traditional drawing from life, drawing from casts, little plaster casts. You can see them over there. But the plaster casts, and we do things that look like the objects that we're trying to draw.
So can you tell us what the Man Show is going to be?
The Man Show is a little background on the Man Show. A couple of years ago, we had a thing called the Romantic Figure Show, and there was a number of artists who were invited to be in the show, and men and women, and virtually all the paintings were about women. That wasn't expected, but that's just how it turned out. And so Michael Pierce thought, after not complaints, but observations that these are all women, where are the men? You know? So he said, well, let's do a man show, one that's just about men and just the various aspects of what artists may interpret as a man's experience. The reception is on March 9th at 7 o'clock. The show opens the day before that on Friday, March 8th, and runs through the month of March.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today, and back to you guys in the studio.
Boy, those are some really great paintings. In another art form, AMC's The Walking Dead is an American horror drama television series that's becoming quite popular among CLU students. Before the premiere of the series last week, CLU News asked students to give us their ideas on zombies.
I'm Jenny DiMartini, and I'm on campus today asking students what they would do in the event of a zombie apocalypse.
I would hire a makeup artist to make me look like a zombie and blend in and make a documentary to share with the people that survive after.
See, there's a lot of people that prep for that kind of stuff. I'm not being one of them, but they would be the first person I would find. I would just follow them. I would kind of take all their hard work and just kind of survive off that. It's not fair, it's not right, but it's what I'm going to do to survive, so there you go.
I would probably just pass out in fear. Yeah, hopefully when I wake up it's over.
I would urinate profusely.
So wrong.
First, I would go to a Costco and get all the supplies I would need, like food and weaponry, maybe if I was in like Texas. And then I would find higher ground because my brother told me that zombies have a hard time climbing.
I kill myself because we're all gonna be dead, but I'm gonna be realistic. I mean, I went gun training the other week and shot some zombies and practice shots, so load up my ammo, shoot them up, kick with my boys to get a nice little spot, a little bachelor's pad, you know, invite all the girls over, you know. Yeah, pretty much. It'll be good times.
Definitely would rob the closest gun store. And
load up on that ammo, couple bow and arrow things, because you got to shoot them in the head.
I would probably start acting like a zombie because I guess they would think I'm a zombie. So this would be my best zombie impression. Just like.
Okay, I would immediately go to the nearest Walmart, barricade the doors, get to the top of the roof with like a sawed-off shotgun or something, and then just blast away. Or if there's like a military base or something nearby, get to that as soon as possible, get in a tank, and just drive through the streets.
And there you have it. Back to you guys in the studio.
I have to admit, I never watched it.
You don't know what you're missing. It's one of my favorites.
Really? That's funny. Well, thanks for watching. This is CLU News, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.